My name is Bill Fernald, and I serve as the Director of Guest Services here at Mount Hermon. Such a privilege to be here and sharing with you again. I also represent an area of really amazing ministry of God at work in Mount Hermon, and that's the guest group area, those that use Mount Hermon to run their own programs, where we come alongside of them and serve them with meals and a bed, recreation, audiovisual services, whatever it takes to help them see their ministry reach the goals that they've set. But it's an amazing, amazing part of what we do here. And I've shared this with you each year now for maybe 4 or 5 years, and God's always doing something new. And there's a passage of Scripture that's really been the framework and the lens that I've looked at, and many of us staff look at this ministry through. And it's a translation out of the Message, and it's in 3 John, and it says, "Dear friend, when you extend hospitality to Christian brothers and sisters, even when they are strangers, you make the faith visible." Isn't that great? They've made a full report back to the church here, a message about your love. It's a good work you're doing helping these travelers on their way. Hospitality worthy of God himself. They set out under the banner of the name and get no help from unbelievers, so they deserve any support we can give them. In providing meals and a bed, we become their companion in spreading the truth. There it is. Companion in spreading the truth. And when we think about the ministries that we get to partner with each year, then it really sinks in that we truly are companions in spreading the truth to places where we would normally not have a reach into. When a family in Afghanistan is hearing the gospel, when somebody in an underground church in Iran is hearing the gospel through a video, and the backdrop is the Mount Hermon stage, we're all a part of that. God reaching around the world and allowing us to be a part of that. And I love that translation out of the Message. And the author of that translation, Eugene Peterson, was just standing here a few weeks ago. And he was teaching to the West Coast Presbyterian Pastors Conference, their 40th year. Those are the types of events that we come alongside to serve. But when I was thinking about who we've partnered with just in the last 12 months since the last time we were together, I think of groups like Youth for Christ and International Justice Mission. And I think it's about an experience in my life recently. I was serving in a group called Leadership Santa Cruz County. And we get to experience different parts of the county throughout the year. And this one day was on business, and we were at a place called Next Space. And it was a new concept downtown Santa Cruz. It was a workspace. And the 2 young guys who started this, they said, there's so many entrepreneurs in this area, and they don't need hundreds of square footage for an office space. They just need a desk or a couch to run a multi-million-dollar company off of. So they opened up this building down on Cooper Street, and you can rent out a cubicle, a boardroom, several cubicles. You can grow, downsize. You can run your whole operation sitting there in a lounge chair with your laptop, and many people do. And these guys said, we knew this would be exciting, but one thing we didn't expect is what happened when these creative business types started talking to each other. And so the whole group was like, that must be amazing. They're spinning off all kinds of new ideas every day. And the whole time I'm in the back of the group thinking, that's us at Mount Hermon for things that mean so much more than business, for kingdom, eternal things. We are the gathering place of people whose God is moving in their lives. Big ministries, small ministries, local, international, you name it. And I think of this, like Youth for Christ and International Justice Mission. Now, they were here on our grounds, but they could be 6 inches apart from each other in a room of one side of Newton Memorial and one in the other side of Newton Memorial and not really know what's going on. What would happen if we were very intentional about linking them up? When we talked to a group about doing this, they thought it was a great idea. Christianity Today and West Coast pastors, let's have a worship time together. What happens when we get together? So Christianity Today sent a global internet alliance group here. But then also Compassion International is here. Now, I know they know of each other, and they might even have friends who serve there. But when you come to Mount Hermon, it's not a convention space. These folks are coming to Mount Hermon for the same reason you come to Mount Hermon and the same reason you love Mount Hermon. God gets into our lives, transforms us. And what happens when these people representing these ministries come to this place for transformation and they link up? What could happen there on an international basis? We also served World Vision and Partners International. Again, we could be intentional here, and we are working at this. This is so exciting. They don't even have the vision for this yet. And when we share it, they get so excited, like, well, of course. A missionary organization and a world relief organization coming together. What would God do with that? But what happens when you drop a church right into the middle of this? How about the Iranian Christian Church in San Jose, who we serve? What if they knew that they were on the grounds the same time as International Justice Mission? What could God do with that? How about the Russian Gospel Temple, or Grace Point in Berkeley is a Korean group, growing, mostly students. If they knew Partners International, who uses locals within the regions to do the missionary work, they're not sending a lot of people over, they're equipping the people who are already there. It can have a huge impact in Korea. And the Russian Gospel Temple, they have a youth group, vibrant, growing youth group in San Francisco. I know that Christianity Today is trying to put content on the internet. How do you reach Russia, Eastern Bloc countries? You team up with the youth of Russian Gospel Temple, and those kids start to write content that reach kids in Russia. That's how you do it. And so you see, I've used these colors where I have red for international ministries connecting with each other, green for churches connecting with the international ministries. But what about churches connecting with churches? There's the San Francisco Christian Center. They have an amazing youth group that meets at Ponderosa. It's a growing, powerful youth ministry in San Francisco, mostly African Americans. But did they know their brothers and sisters in the youth age group down the street at the Russian Gospel Temple? I bet they don't. And there's no better place than camp, more safe, where God works in a powerful way to connect you together. See, we have a responsibility now and a stewardship to this, what God has put in front of us. We were so excited about ministry partnerships, and then now we're looking at this and saying, oh my goodness, we're doing a disservice when we don't connect them together. And it goes on from here. There's more. It's not just churches, but for instance, I think we can connect church to church when Grace Point, who's Korean, connects with a Middle Eastern church. That's a unique connection I had to learn about. There's a Mongolian background that allows safe passage between country. Whereas I probably wouldn't have as much good luck heading in there myself with the gospel, but the Koreans do. And we can link them up together. I'm sure these two churches don't know each other. And then you saw a little clip of the Amgen Tour California. That represents a type of outreach that we're doing. The cyclists are going to come from all over the world on Monday. We're going to house them and feed them. We got to replenish them. They burn 10,000 calories a day. These guys who have arms as big as this and legs like that. But we have good friends in Fellowship of Christian Athletes or Pro Athlete Outreach where we could link up. When the Amgen Tour is here on Monday, we've put cards in all their rooms. These are mostly young guys who are anywhere from 19 to late 20s. And this is what they do for a living, is they travel and they ride. And they're the best in the world. And it's a welcome card that we hope to replenish them with strength and the rest that they need for the next stage of the race. And we're here to serve them. And Philippians 4:13. To strengthen them with the idea that God will give them the strength. And we believe that the scripture will speak to them there. But now we have groups like Iron Man. They came this week, organizers wanting to talk to us about somehow partnering. We don't open up as a hotel. We're intentional about this. When they promote Mount Hermon as the site on the local, national, and global websites for the Tour of California, the description of Mount Hermon is where Christ-centered camps for parents and adults are offered, where God is at work. That's Mount Hermon. That's what they see. We're so excited about this. But I look at that image right there, and as I said, it's a stewardship. It's a gift put upon us to reach. This map is not random. This is what it looks like. That we can be a part of all this, and this is our next frontier of connecting these ministries together to see what God will do in that. It's just going to be amazing. And a quick update from the last time we talked, I told you about a collaborative ministry like this that was in the works. I told you about Time Out Ministries, a men's West Coast ministry, reaching guys in the marketplace. There's an East Coast one as well called New Canaan Society, both of them very successful, independent, in reaching the men of their areas. They've teamed up with Ransom Heart Ministries out of Colorado and John Eldridge, Wild at Heart. And they've chosen Mount Hermon as the site. We've come alongside, we said, we believe in what you guys are doing. They say, we believe in what Mount Hermon's doing. Well, let's all get together. So February 7, 8, 9, and 10 of 2013, a 3-night conference. We're starting at 550 to 600, and if it goes to 700 or 800, we'll move it to the field house. That's where we're starting right there. This is going to be an amazing weekend of men's ministry, and these are ministry partnerships coming together. The message of Time Out and New Canaan Society is, guys, leave your egos at the door, get on your knees, humble yourselves before the Lord. John Eldridge and Ransom Heart, they'll take the guys really deep and bring them into an amazing transformation with God. It's going to be an incredible weekend. And the Chinese group we talked about last year that surprised us with not 8, 9, but 1,000 people. Well, it was 1,100 when all is said and done. They'll be here next weekend. 3 facilities, Conference Center, Ponderosa, Redwood, all of them packed out. So we have no idea how many people are coming. 1,200? We'll be ready. That's a lot of barbecue. And so we're really excited about that. But when I step back and I look at that, and JR is going to share a little later about Roger's vision, part of that are some statements he made. And he says that we will look forward and we'll engage culture. We will excite thought. And we will embrace innovation. And we will expand multi-ethnicity and encourage collaboration. I say yes to that vision, and I look to where we already are and say, it's happening. God's already gone before. What is next? This is amazing. Thank you for your support of this. You are a part of this. So grateful for you, for your love for Mount Hermon. Thank you.